Now, as you may have heard a little earlier, there are now 2 locations in rural New South Wales which have been placed on the Health Department's alert list, one in Orange and one in Gundagai. The idea that 2 states, though, have barred residents in all of rural New South Wales is just so unscientific. It is risk-averse and crushing for those families who want to get together for Christmas, which is why last night I called WA Premier Mark McGowan's approach pathetic and selfish, his decisions dumb, and this reference to New South Wales playing whack-a-mole as weird. And last night, Deputy New South Wales Premier John Barilaro called him a goose. Today, McGowan was given a free shot by Perth's Radio 6PR.
How do you feel about the name calling, being called dumb and deranged by a broadcaster for 2GB over East, Chris Smith?
It doesn't really bother me. I'd never heard of him before yesterday or this morning. So, no, I'm not too worried about it, Gary. But, there is clearly is a bit of an East Coast and West Coast divide. I think there is an attitude in New South Wales in particular that whatever they do is always right. That seems to have permeated in particular some of the commentators on politics and commentators on news and that sort of thing.
Premier, there is no superiority complex in the East. It's just that you chickened out trying to fight the virus and a crushed economy at the same time. You didn't opt to do it. Anyone can just shut the gate and become popular by reaching elimination. Just close the gate. No drama. And apart from ignoring the National Cabinet recommendations and refusing to take too many of your own people returning from overseas, you left it to New South Wales. Well, you also have a terrible memory about those you choose to speak with. He only heard of me today. This is the Premier earlier this year talking with yours truly.
Putting Western Australia in the boat of giving more money to the East really isn't something that's on my agenda at this point in time.
Premier McGowan, thank you very much for your time this evening.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Graham.
Good to have you on the program. Maybe he's developing a Joe Biden-like memory. I don't know. Who knows? And John Barilaro is back today to give him more.
Now, yesterday there was some weird and wonderful comments by Premier McGowan out of Western Australia talking about, we've got some wacky approach by we whack here and whack there. I mean, I didn't understand that. I did make some comments on Sky overnight. Maybe he's on the wacky tobacco.
It's all a bit of fun and games, but not for the family members. He's shut out of WA because there's a 1,000,000,000,000 chance of them in rural New South Wales bringing the virus into the state. That's not good leadership. You know what that is? That's gutless.